Temayuki, number 1. Kakahara Iko, 3. Amuro Saka, 4. Hagagawa Norika, 6. Takahashi Riko, 7. And Komiya Masai is number 9. And Ichikawa Koichi is the head coach. Well, top scorer coming into this one is Hagagawa, but we have a look at Egypt first. And Amani Abu Hussein, Gahad El-Zuddin, Dina Iladagham, Hasna Aligabri, Shaima Hanafe, the side for Egypt. Abubakar Shaban is the head coach of the Egyptian side. It's a fun day here because we've just seen Denmark qualify for the knockout rounds in 4th place in Group A, so it means Algeria are out with France, Argentina, and Mexico. Canada, Turkey, Korea, Algeria, Denmark take the top 4. And now in Group B, it gets very interesting because Israel, Great Britain, Japan, and the United States are battling it out. All 4 teams are through to the quarterfinals. The only question is, in what order? Because Israel cruising 6 from 6. They play Portugal today, so on paper, their easiest game of the competition, but Great Britain will play United States, which means this result for Japan crucial for a victory to try and take 2nd place in the group, but it depends on Great Britain's result with the United States later on, with Great Britain needing a win or to better the result of Japan. At the moment, they have the better goal difference, but it's only by 3. 2 goals scored, and they've conceded 1 more goal, actually, so it makes it even closer. Well, next to me in the commentary box, we have the man himself, the Portuguese, Joao. Yeah, there you go. It is now.
Okay, makes sense. And it's Japan-Egypt. You just presented the game on a superb way, so nothing better to say then. We have 10 seconds to go, and we'll be watching some of the best goalball in the world, because everybody needs their place in this championship, and everybody will fight until the end, and that's what we've been watching, yeah?
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Japan on the left of the screen with Egypt on the right. Japan in the white jerseys and the black lettering and numbering, where Egypt with the black sleeves of the red jerseys and white lettering and numbering. Japan starting with that team, Temayuki, number 4, Amuro Saki, and number 9, Korea Masai. So it's a completely different team than what's been starting. There is no Hagagawa Norika. There is no Kakahata Iko. And maybe they're just resting some of their heavy hitters. But again, they don't want to take Egypt too lightly, because if they lose this game, their place for the quarterfinals and their seeding will change for Egypt, while Ola Gabri has to start, number 7, starting. Oh, maybe not starting. Well, absolutely is starting on the right wing. My mistake. Had to have a couple of looks there. I was expecting to see Ola Gabri in the centre for a moment.
Meanwhile, in Hall 2, the battle of the Portuguese speakers. 14 seconds to go. Brazil 17, Portugal 9.
Oh, there you go.
Nerve battle. I passed there when I was coming here, and you can feel the tension on that field.
You certainly can. The referees for this one, Yana Hokas and Hoshang Shiriati, patrolling the sidelines closely. It's raining again here in Porto. I thought I saw rain in the UK, but nothing compares to what we're having this week in
It's an exceptional weather for Portugal.
We can hear it.
It happens like 20 in 20 years, so...
Oh, really?
You brought it with you.
I probably did, yes. Block out from Arurasaki. So, starting number 4 has been player of the match in one of my games that I've commentated before, and that's a diagonal play from bottom right to, top right to bottom left. And Japan going for a line ball here from the right post. Korea Masai. Diagonal work from Arusaki, who starts in the middle today in the center. Takahashi Riko is on the bench, number 7 at the bottom of the screen, and has been doing a good job in that center role all week long as we go 10 days in a row here at the World Championships. It's fascinating to see how different teams approach different games, and Japan have certainly left their starters on the bench.
On court 2, just finished, Brazil 17, Portugal 10 on the Battle of the Portuguese speakers.
Portuguese. Acabou.
Acabou.
From the right side to the center. Ella Gabri gonna have to keep an eye on her, but Japan are resilient defensively and fast attacking. That's a good one to the left of center, but it's excellently done by Korea Masai. It's a good throw, but fortunately can't break the deadlock. From the screen, Hanafe with a good defense. It's Hanafe again, he's the target.
3 minutes have passed, 0-0 with Japan, Egypt.
Definitely is a defensive battle so far, Joao, isn't it?
Yeah?
Bouncing ball off the feet of the center and just dropped backwards, but Takahashi Riko, for me, has been the real solid for Japan, and I'm intrigued to see how it goes without her in the team today. Ella Gabri picks the ball up for the second time in a row on the right side, and she's bouncing the ball looking with the bouncer to try and hit the gap between Arusaki and left winger on the ball now, Korea Masai. Block out from Egypt, and Japan haven't been able to break the deadlock yet.
So Japan trying to get the second place on this group. They really need the goals and the points. So they need to advance on their game.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't see Japan really conceding, but also don't know how they're going to break the duck at the moment, and the deadlock is thrown from the right side, is wide of the post. And I imagine we've got some
Comments
in the
on the chat? Yes. We have Miracle saying, "Go Japan." Lakey saying, "Come on, ladies, you got this." Japan flag. Dom Roper says, "Portugal played well against Brazil," with a thumbs up. And Miracle writes something in Japanese that I believe that he's saying, "I prefer when Louis and Liz and João are in the comment box."
Let's see that. There's husky voices today from us. Picked up again, left side, and I think Dan Roper's been with us a lot of the week, so welcome back to day 8. Right side attack this time from Arusaki, coming from the center, just tried to roll one down. Same time, very, very awake and aware. From the right side, Turner. Once again, Saki is there. Just shows that Japan's players can play in a few different positions here. All filling in at different roles at different times. There's a timeout from Japan. 6:30 on the clock here, still 0-0. It's been one of those games where neither team have really looked like scoring as of yet. Defensively playing well. Timeout from Japan.
6 minutes and a half on the clock. Japan 0, Egypt 0. Dom Roper is asking, on beers last night? No, just a lot of GoalBall.
We a few beers would go down lovely, but unfortunately we'd have to pay too big a price in this week.
And Louis has a saying when commenting, no drinking. No, that's one driving, right?
Yeah. But yeah, well, it's been a great week. The voice is starting to get a bit crackled with it. Block out.
Still 2 days to come, Louis. Still
Shorter days though.
And shorter, but with more emotions.
Absolutely.
So
4 games on the final day, the medal matches. Will be right, tomorrow's the quarterfinals. It's going to be a really interesting day. It's one thing producing the goods during the pool stages, but who's going to show up when it matters and who's going to...
And I have to add that we're going to have the quarterfinals and the semifinals tomorrow. Just to keep you happy.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-game day. Tiring day for the athletes. From the middle, Arosaki is just doing a fine job keeping this out, and it's from the right of center. It's just with deflection. And that was almost, well, the closest we come for a goal. The overlap to the right side of center.
And 5 minutes and a half on the clock.
Oh,
0-0.
That's twice that they've worked the center both sides. And twice that Ilagham has struggled. Got a touch on the ball and it's gone backwards both sides, and it's come down to the wingers to help them out defensively. Good block and counter again from Miyuki. Back to the center. A lot of works defensively is going through Ilagham from the left side. 9 Hanafe. Hanafe stopped by for Arusaki. Long distance diagonal ball was look at that, just one person sat on their own in the crowd taking some notes. Good bit of stats work.
Yeah.
Japan certainly haven't come short of staff members helping the performance. Gabri hasn't had many chances yet to score.
I just saw Florin's face when he was passing by and saw the result, and he's as surprised as me. 0-0 in Japan,
well,
Egypt.
Very much a second 3 from Japan. Florin says still. Yeah, very true. But at the same time, Japan could do with a win here pretty quickly, because there's a lot riding on this game for them in terms of where they're positioned in the pool. To the center. Arusaki still can't break the deadlock, and this is very reminiscent of the Japan performance against Australia, where they couldn't score in the first half and they had to leave it till the second, and then when it rained, it poured like it does in Porto, but
rarely.
But when it does happen, Japan really came to the forefront and scored 7 in that second half against Australia. Australia up next. Diagonal ball from the top right to the bottom right. This is out the bottom right post for Japan. Bouncing ball. Oh, that was pretty close from Kori and Masai. Goes from just right of middle, just that crossover play to no avail. Kori Masai. Very experienced player for Japan. It's opposite winger who's attacking next. That's just the left of centre. Ball's picked up again on left flank of Hanafe. Hanafe has scored some vital goals this week, but Egypt still only with a 1 win. Saki going for the corner. Well done from El Gabri. And so far, Egypt holding on here. Enough to surprise floor him. Gabri is there again.
And those 0329 is asking which players are playing for Japan. Number 7, Riku Takahashi. I'll try. Number, he's saying Takahashi Riko. Okay, I will maintain that approach. Takahashi Riko. Number 4, Amuro Saki. And number 9, Komiya Masai. Sorry if I did something wrong. My Japanese is almost as bad as my Greek.
Okay, Japan could probably do with a goal before the half-time interval. Just take the pressure off a little bit. Saki can't find one from the centre to the bottom left-hand post of Egypt. El Gabri. This is going to be the player that could nick one for Egypt as well on the counter. It's a bit of a stubborn 0-0 at the moment, but resilient work for Ilagham. Dino Ilagham has had a very good game in the centre. We have a timeout for Egypt. 1:37 on the clock in the first half. We've got to give credit where it's due for Egypt. Defensively done a fine job. And, we'll see some.
So that's a number 1, not a number 7. So Yuki Tema.
Yeah, absolutely.
The graphics on the Japanese are really hard because the 7 and the 1 are really similar. It was a big discussion on one of the last games.
Oh, almost a problem there for Osaki. Come off the feet, and well, Komiya Masai was close, and that's a very patient bit of defense from Hanafe. Been a great start this for Egypt, and if they could hold Japan here, it would certainly make Great Britain and the USA game interesting later on. I think it's going to be interesting regardless, but goal difference also playing a big part today, so Japan could do it with some goals. They're just one behind Great Britain on the goal difference charts, but every goal will count. Tomoyuki is obviously in now as well, so it's just it's a nice play off the legs and out of bounds, but thinking we might see Hagagara and Oika in the second half. The roller to the lines. Come on, Gabri. Great competition. Very emotional in the early games, but seems to have just settled into the World Championships nicely. Block out from the number 7. Gabri. 37 seconds on the clock in the opening half. That's a good throw. Cross court. Murasaki went for it, but it was always going to be the right winger's ball just to the right of her, and it's back towards the left-hand gap of the centre for Egypt, Hanafe. And it is raining so hard here. You can hear it on the roof. Oh, there's the first goal. Just for Japan. And it's Komiya Masai that gets it going diagonally. And it's a perfect time for a goal for Japan. Cross-court ball to the left of centre again, did the damage. And it's Japan that lead at half-time, 1-0. goal to nil. And Egypt defensively were outstanding. Just the one for Japan.
So just one replay to watch. Maybe. Oh, the Japanese are... I wouldn't say joyful. I think they are cheering at the rhythm of the game.
Yeah. And they're cheering a bit faster now that the camera's on them. That was the goal.
It was not on Schneider because it was against one of the players, but almost. Schneider.
The Schmieder. Egypt getting their last words of advice from the coaching team. They've all done a marvellous job. They won't be going to the next round, but they've had a good tournament. They can be very proud of the work they've all put in. Lots of energy. So, the game on Hall 2, very far behind schedule at the moment. For Japan, no change. Temayuki will play on the near side. Orosaki in the middle, and Komiya Masai on the left as takes the village. All the officials doing a fine job of the work so far.
Different opinions on our chat. Dom Roper says, unlucky Egypt, you can do it. But Lake says, Japan need to make a substitution. Should be goal more. I think that the substitutions are on their way. And the Egyptians are trying to get their luck back. Starting the second half. 1 for Japan, 0 for Egypt. 12 minutes to go. Next here on All 1, the second game of B group, Brazil against Australia.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to say the least. So, Brazil underperformed in this competition, or almost through early on. Saki, Hanafe starting on the left again for Egypt. Same teams all round. Look at him in the centre. It's looking for the gap, and it almost was in the gap from a perfectly placed throw from Temayuki on the new side, but Hanafe got across really well to help cover the centre. Komiya Masai looks for that same gap, and Hanafe is there again. Ilagham is doing her best in the centre, just keep cutting off those angles, but at times it's just getting past it. It's the wingers who are having to cover the gaps, but this time Ilagham is there again. Hanafe doing a lot of the throwing in this game, trying to put the pressure on. Counter-attack from Japan, but very, very good work from Ilagham again. Ilagabri from outside of the post gets back into court. Powerful play. Rumour has it she's played almost every game, and at the start of this competition was given every ball, and there's just a few problems with having done so much throwing and defending in this competition. Now sharing the workload a little bit more. right side. Eligabri again, inside right, just a little bit closer to the centre than previously. She goes to the bottom right side, and Temayuki mops up easy. It goes back to the... So it's a lovely throw diagonally, and it's well kept out. It's looking like it was going into that bottom left-hand corner. Oh, almost a goal. Off the hands of Ari Saki, and luckily for Saki and for Japan, Temayuki was there just to keep pinching. Oh, and it's a funny game because straight away Japan almost scored. Hanafe got past the centre, and Hanafe was there once again. Hanafe very much doing some good defensive work. Egypt keep knocking on the door. Looking for that gap left to centre again, Joel.
Yeah, they are trying. It's not the fastest of games or the strongest of games, but they are trying. And you can see that the Egyptians won't conceive so easily as it could be expected at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, well, I think Florin was saying earlier on, if it's going to be your last game in the competition, you want to be making sure you're leaving on a win. But as I sort of replied, or a good performance, and leaving with a positive taste in your mouth. It's from just the inside left, Hanafe, Temayuki. Timeout from Japan. This is a very low-scoring contest, as we touched on.
I think the big surprise is Japan, because Japan scored 37 goals and suffered only 20 against the 20 that Egypt scored and 53 that they suffered. So it was expected that Japan could create more rhythm and score more goals to this Egyptian team, but that's the trophy that everybody wants.
Yep.
The player of the match.
Player of the match trophy. It's been a great addition to this competition, Joel.
And it's the one that we have to decide, and this time probably harder than ever.
Yeah, it really is. Defensive battles. Hanafe, oh! Just about to say Hanafe's had a good day, but Hanafe's been moved to the inside, then she's beaten to the corner, and the Gabri comes down to her. Now Gabri
Murasaki, the second goal of Japan.
Brilliant goal.
And she goes directly to the lead of the most probable player of the match, at least for me.
Yeah.
You are becoming a defensive guy like Florin, Mario, and Arki?
Yeah, a little bit, but Egypt are playing really well, and I thought that Hanafe had a very good chance, but obviously just letting another goal go in her corner. She's having a really good game. As is, I think the centre there actually is somebody that we need to have a little look at.
So Murasaki, if you are listening, score more goals for that Louis can't have arguments against me.
I will always find an argument, Joao, against you, sir. Always. But no, you're completely right at the moment. Saki's had a great game.
Oh. And she listens.
Sorry,
you heard.
Murasaki's in the middle.
Some concern on the team bench area of Egypt.
I still think it's a big one here. In a game where it's going to go to goal difference if GB beat United States, the goals become a big factor. So for me, Japan, if they want to take second in the group, need to find a way to get a few more goals, because they're only one goal in front of, I think, the Great Britain side.
I love that the Egyptian coach is on his knees to try to feel the same vibe that the players feel. Every time that he can, he's as they are in the level, or as leveled as they are.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep, it makes clear sense, and it's great coaching. Long diagonal. Grabbed by Saki on the left wing. Yuki on right now, so Japan just changing their defense. Komiya Masai in the middle. Bounce it all. Well, got past the center, and Hanafe was there again. Gabri's saying, give me the ball from the inside. Bouncer. Japan just defensively have been really solid, haven't they? This player of the match could go to anyone of 3. Solid. Timeout from Egypt. And they're 2-0 down, but brilliant defensive performance.
2 walls playing against each other. 2 for Japan, 0 for Egypt. 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the first half. Meanwhile, on the all 2, surprise of the surprises, China is losing with Argentina. 10 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first half.
Great.
Aren't you surprised that China is losing?
I am surprised.
Okay, just checking.
But what do we know today after some strange results in Hall 2 already? So El Gabri has to get back quickly. Wide from Komiya Masai. El Gabri got back to a starting position really nicely there and was beaten to the outside of the post. 6:08 on the clock. Japan lead Egypt 2-0 with, well, from the right side. Having a little charge, just changing wings. Oh, and it was almost very good. Hanafe got across incredibly well there. That's what they're doing, though, is Hanafe's having to pinch in and cover the gap again. And then they catch her on the outside post. Now they've gone for the gap, and oh, that was very close. Very, very close with Hanafe pinching in. It was actually Ilagham, the centre, had to go down to the left-hand side. That's a good save. Good throw, though, from Hanafe. Still no goal for Egypt, and Japan will be delighted with their defensive display. And, they're still looking for that same sort of gap. The left winger for Egypt under pressure. This one, ball came straight from the line. Gabri can't get past the centre. Number 4. Muru Saki.
I'm out for Egypt.
Timeout Egypt, another one. 5:06 on the clock, and while the score is at 3, they will still believe they can get back into this game. It's going to take a big push, considering that we've gone 19 minutes of play with only 3 goals, but that was another one, just unlucky. Defensively, they've paid attention, they've been so good for long periods of time, but it's difficult to defend Japan, who are just so consistent with their throws. We hope you're enjoying this one from wherever you're watching from.
They are really, really quiet. It's a slow game, so...
And the rain pours down here on the top of the sports hall. There's rumours of flooding in the local area, but so far we're all very good. There's another goal. And every time I talk about flooding or rain, there seems to be a Japanese goal.
That's a flooding of goals from Japan. A flood of goals. It could be 4 minutes 47 seconds to go. I have to remind everyone that the men's team from Japan yesterday won 11-1, and the score it was and the time was 1:11. So perfect match in the information board over the lead wall.
If any of you are spiritual, you'll know that all the ones mean at home.
Or it could be some binary coding.
right side. Looking straight down the line, Gabri. Just trying to spin that one in from the right sideline. Oh, that one's through the gap, and it's another goal for Japan. And this is exactly what we saw against Australia. Their consistency just grinds teams down. Because they were 0-0, Japan, Australia at half-time, and second half they ran away to a 7-0. And they've just done the same again here. Consistency, persistency, and the other team just can't hang for long periods of time.
Tom Roper just wrote all to play for Great Britain against America later.
That's going to be unbelievable.
How does the pool table look now?
Well, I can roughly do it for you because what we haven't got is a live table. We've got the table at the start of the day.
Yeah, we need to do maths here.
And, Dan, if you're British, I got a D in maths at GCSE level, so that's going to tell you how well I did.
He is British. He's from Fen Tigers.
Oh,
that
legend.
are, if I remember well, they are close to Peterborough or something. Is it close to Peterborough, or my memory is fading?
So as it stands,
I know that he's from Fen Tigers and he's one of the Roper brothers.
As it stands, Japan will be in second place with 5 wins, a draw and a loss. Great Britain in third with 4 wins, a draw and a loss. Obviously, Great Britain in third place, but they have the United States. The interesting thing will be the goal difference here because a 5-goal game at the moment, the goal difference, as I calculate it now off the top of my head, is that 21 for Great Britain, 20 for Japan. So now Japan are 25. So Great Britain will need a fairly sizable win over the United States.
Or United
today.
States, both of them. These 3 are fighting for that second spot, second place.
Yep.
Because all of them are qualified.
Well, the issue is if the game is close between the United States and Great Britain, well,
that's going to be a game that needs a calculator.
Well, actually, if Japan win this one, then it doesn't matter because the United States have already lost 2. So it'll be a battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, but also a battle for, because even if he ends in the draw, then the goal difference will matter.
It's going to be a fascinating one because both teams are going to have to go for it. Well, USA are not really going to have to go for it, but because they know a win will be good enough for 3rd place. But if Great Britain want to take 2nd, then they're really going to have to try and win by a few.
Yes, Ahmed 5-0 now. Dom Roper says, yeah, you got it. Town called March in Cambridgeshire. 20 minutes from Peterborough.
Lovely.
Lake says,
He's not
Ahmed,
a
yes.
Peterborough fan, is he?
Sorry?
Famous football team.
Oh. And a big Portuguese community. There is a big Portuguese festival. I was there one
Pastel
time.
Dalnadas all round.
Pastel natas all around. Dom Roper says, thank you both. Thumbs up and a big hug.
Pastel Dalnadas and Superbox. Washing them down.
E francesinhas.
With a francesinha.
Did you try the francesinha yet?
Not this trip, but this is maybe my 10th time to Portugal.
Okay, and you tried the francesinha before, and you survived.
Yeah,
almost.
just with some indigestion.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No. Well, definitely not for the faint heart, because it could send you over the edge and have a heart attack.
So 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Japan 5, Egypt
Great
0.
Look into the line. And now the...
This is the moment that I always ask you. Who do you think is going to be the player of the match?
Well, I always ask you.
Now I ask you first.
Okay, lovely. I'm going to go with Murosaki.
Really?
But it could be Tamayuki.
I was with Tamayuki.
Okay, then we'll go Tamayuki. If anyone wants to have a vote, please speak now or forever hold your silence.
Yeah, because it's. I could also go to Murosaki. Let's see if someone scores a goal now.
Yeah, you've got about a minute before we make the decision. So,
Yeah, so tell us something. Help us, because we are in doubt between Temayuki and Amurosaki.
from the
E
center.
is hand in Portuguese. E and
I'll just check here. Referee comes on just to make sure that.
meanwhile, China 1, Argentina 2, with 4 minutes to go in Hall 2.
Cannot believe it, can you?
I could expect a lot of things. China losing to Argentina wasn't one of them.
Well, Argentina would have 3 wins. I mean, that would. I haven't been over there today, so I'm unsure what I'm missing. But
But
to my
there's a
knowledge,
lot of
please
game
correct
to
me.
be played there.
That would give Argentina an outside chance. I think it depends if United States play Iran is the question. But the USA play Colombia, so that ends that debate because USA will finish above Argentina if they beat Colombia. Doesn't really matter for China though, because China have already won that pool, so I'd imagine they're using it as a bit of rest, or maybe they're trying a few things.
But
Getting a bit excited over there, Joao.
yeah, because it was almost.
It was almost.
I hate when these low speeding balls go to the net, because it's so sad. They defend the
Oh, good
really
defending.
fast and hard balls, and then the ball goes really slow.
25.4 seconds on the clock.
So nobody tell us anything. Our fight between Amurosaki and Timayuki.
Well,
Yes.
I wonder if Dan would like to choose the player of the match for this one if he's still watching.
Don, who's your player of the match? Because
You've got 24 seconds to.
I'm gonna give you the opportunity to be the third commentator on this game. 25.
From the left side then, El Gabri just changing sides, going
20.
long and cross, but block out. That's a good line ball.
Oh.
El Gabri,
10.
last 10 seconds of Egypt's campaign. Japan going through, and I think they've done enough here to really put the pressure on Great Britain. It's going to be tough for them to beat the USA by 4, but who knows?
Dom is not helping us. He says that his here goes to Egypt, so I think it's going to be Amurosaki, number 4. Amurosaki.
Murasaki it is.
Amurosaki it is.
5.5. Egypt have done a good job there.
Oh, my heart. His heart goes to Egypt. He just corrected the spelling. So number, what's happening?
Not much. Well, there's a penalty here, team penalty.
Oh.
Not sure what for. What a great opportunity for Egypt to finish on a high. And El Gabri certainly deserves it for her efforts. And she's not going to get what she deserves though.
Number 9 saves it. Komiya Masai.
Just leaps out of nowhere.
And it would be beautiful to have a goal for Egypt.
It would have been a great way to end, but it's not going to be how it
It's
ends.
done.
Murasaki takes the player of the match. Egypt, well done for a very good week in the office. You've done your country proud in the GoalBall World Championships. Japan, we'll be seeing you in the quarterfinals. We don't know if it's going to be as a second place team in the group or a third, but you've done everything you can to finish above Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to us announce player of the game.
Go tell them who is the player of the game. I remember everyone, 5-0 to Japan.
5-0. Congratulations to Japan. We're still waiting till later to see if you finish second or third in the pool. And congratulations to Egypt. You've done your country very proud here at the World Championships of GoalBall. And now it's time to announce our player of the match. The player of the match goes to Japan's number 4, Amuro Saki. Congratulations to Amuro Saki. Congratulations to Japan. We will see you tomorrow in the quarterfinal. We have a game coming up very, very soon here in Hall 1.
Next, Brazil
Australia versus Australia.
And we're going to listen some Portuguese on the next 2 games because we're going to have Brazil, Australia, and Israel, Portugal. We'll be back soon. Be back with us. It looks like it's Friday.